Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back for another Alliance War video in Season 29. This is War number 5. We are matched up today against RE.A, and we are coming in with a record of 1-3, so we really need a win today. Revolution Arena finished in Platinum 1 last season. They are also ranked one spot above us in the current Platinum 1 bracket this season, so this is a very fair, very accurate match. I think this will be a pretty good war. We were very confident going into it. This was very winnable as long as we played well and consistent. So today we are going with Human Torch, Moleman, and Archangel as our attack team. We have 5 fights today, and 2 of them are actually going to be mini bosses, so we get some very cool, very exciting action going on at the end of this war, so be sure to check it out. We're going to go Path 4 in Section 1 today, where we have the Void up first. Very simple placement, very common. As long as we use Moleman, really not a big deal. The nodes are actually going to help us. And then in Section 2, we're going to take on the Stealth Suit Spidey and the Professor X on Path 6. Those will be our only 3 fights until we get to the mini-boss island, where we are going to go left and take on the Ironman Infinity War on the Rage node and the Mr. Negative on the Power Focus 1 node. So 2 very good fights, 2 new fights for me this season, but not too overly complicated. I was pretty confident in them. And you can check out some of the other boss placements. We have a Gladiator Hulk, a Black Widow Deadly Origins, and Ultron, kind of different, kind of unique. But let's go ahead and jump into our first fight. So, the thing with the Void here, if you can't continuously purify or shrug off debuffs, this node is going to be absolute hell for you. Fortunately, because we have Moleman, as long as we don't enter our frenzy, we should be able to consistently purify every debuff that gets applied to us, whether it's the heal block at the beginning, any of Void's debuffs, or even any of the debuffs that we're going to gain from staying close to him for too long because of the node. So let's go ahead and check out what the nodes actually are. You can see he's a 6-star rank 3 Void, so he's a beefy defender. Steady build-up Fury, that's going to be what's going to be giving us the passive Fury buffs throughout the fight. Long distance relationship, heal block debuff, those are both going to be purified as long as we don't enter our frenzy. And insult to injury should never come into play because we should never have any debuffs on us, reducing our ability accuracy. So that's the plan. Don't enter the frenzy, we really don't want to. We want to consistently be purifying debuffs, getting those Furies, and as long as we're getting those passive Furies right there, we're going to be hitting like a truck. So we've purified 2 debuffs so far. We've got 2 passive Furies. We're going to purify the 3rd weakness. So now we are absolutely slapping him around with those passive Furies. Right here, man. This is like the 3rd time this season I've been caught by Void Special 2. And I don't know what's going on with it. Just bad timing on my part. Unfortunately, we entered the frenzy right here. So we're no longer purifying debuffs, which means we're taking damage from Void's ability from these debuffs. Fortunately, because we're in the frenzy, all the hits on that special 2 crit, and it's a massive special 2, so we finish him off and we take him down. Not a perfect fight. I make another little mistake, but we get the full attack bonus, and Moleman is so safe, he's so tanky, an absolute mole god for Alliance War, so we get out of that fight without losing too much health, despite the poor play by me, and now we can move on to Section 2. Where you can see we only health boost for this fight because Stealth Suit Spidey is a 6-star at rank 2 and he's on the Rage node. He is an untouchable defender, so he's going to benefit from the Untouchable Global, which means that he's just going to be gaining a little bit of a bar power when he evades us for the first time in this fight, and he should never evade us again after that. So we're going to land our first parry right here, and we're going to heavy attack. He's going to evade it. There's the passive power gain, not a big deal, glad we got that over with. And now as long as we can land some really good RNG with poisons and neurotoxins, this fight should be relatively straightforward and easy. I don't want him to throw another special, I don't want him to get that evade charge back. Right here, he actually hits the rage cap with my heavy. The last hit crits for just over the rage cap minimum. So the threshold is like 2600, I'm critting for like 2700. So we've triggered the rage a few times at this point, but as you can see, we've got 5 neuros stacked, and we're not going to need to do anything else here. That is going to end the fight relatively easily. Archangel, an awesome counter for the Rage node because the neurotoxin damage is not affected by the Rage cap threshold, so it's just ticking down for some massive damage when our attacks would only do 2.5% at most. And obviously, as long as you never reach the Rage threshold more than 5 times, he's not going to go unblockable, and the fight is relatively fast and easy. So we got out of that fight, no problem, felt very good about it. Archangel, an absolute beast. Let's go ahead and move on to the Professor X. We are going to go ahead and throw on the additional attack boosts now, so we can hit as hard as we can. We still have the invulnerability boost active, just in case here. You never know, can never be too careful. The Aggression Prowess, Power Focus 2 node. Professor X is also an untouchable defender, so if we ever miss, he's going to be gaining 33% of a bar of power, I think, or something like that. Fortunately, because Human Torch can't miss with his temperature being high enough, we should never have to deal with that part of this fight. So we should never miss, and because of that, the untouchable node is essentially irrelevant. I actually think this placement hurts Professor X's value as a defender. Most of the time you want him throwing special ones because he's going to be gaining channeling charges faster, but if he's blowing by that first bar of power and getting to the second bar, he never throws it. And you can see 30 seconds into this fight, he's almost dead already. He hasn't even thrown a special. Right here, I'm debating whether or not I can finish it without needing to bait the special 2. I decided to play it cautious and try to bait it, even though I probably could have finished it. But it's easy to outrange, and there we go. One tap afterwards, and he goes down. We didn't even use our Flame On ability there. That was just an insanely fast fight. Full attack bonus achieved, only took 25 hits. Absolutely perfect, could not have gone any better. So that is going to finish our main fights for this war and move us on to the mini-boss. And up first is an Ironman Infinity War. So he's on the Rage node, and that is why we are not going to max attack boost, just the health boost again. And I've taken Ironman Infinity War on the Path 6 Rage node a few times this season with Human Torch using the Flame On ability. And it's gone really well every time so far. It has gone absolutely perfectly. The plan is to just have this fight go equally as well. We are not going to be hitting the Rage cap because we're not boosted, and Human Torch hits like a wet paper towel. So the plan here is to let all of the Nova Flames do most of the damage here, as well as the Power Sting damage. So we want him to throw the special one as soon as he gets it, as soon as he has the most Power Stings on him. We're just going to go ahead and block every attack that we can. We don't need to really worry about repairing in this fight. The block damage will probably add up, but because this is our last fight of the war, and I know there's no way that block damage is going to outdamage what we're going to do to him, I really don't mind. So there's the first example of it. The special one activates the Power Stings, and he's down to 78% health already. Absolutely perfect. That's how you want this fight to go. I don't mind blocking his attacks. It's just going to build our temperature and our smolders most of the time because several of his attacks are energy based. Right here, we would love for him to throw another special one with the 6 Power Stings. Unfortunately, they all fall off. He was being a little stingy there. I wasn't really baiting them correctly. But right here, he throws it, and he had a few Power Stings on him, so he's down to 50% health. And that is the formula. As long as we can keep this up, we're going to be good to go. We know we don't want to hit into him when he has more than 4 armor ups on him, or within the 15% end of his life, just because he has a chance to auto-block us, and that will end us if we get auto-block parried. But so far, this fight is going really well, very slow, but I don't mind. We get a nice intercept there. He's coming down to the last 15% here, so I need him to enter that state. And once he's in that state, it's just heavy counters the rest of the way. So here we go. He's down to like 8% health. The Nova Flames are ticking him down. One more heavy counter should do it. There it is. The Nova Flames just going to melt him away and end this fight with ease. Thank you, Human Torch. Thank you to that Flame On. That is a Silver Bullet ability. You basically get a free kill from that Flame On ability in any war, any fight. So there it is. Thank you, Human Torch. We get out of that fight relatively easily. Our first mini-boss of the season went really well, so I had a lot of confidence now going into this Mr. Negative fight. The thing is, Mr. Negative is kind of annoying, and I understand the placement on this node because once he inverts your controls on activation of that special one, you have to dex the opposite direction, meaning you have to dash into him in order to dash backwards, in order to evade the first hit of the special one, which will be unblockable because of the node. So I think the placement is actually fairly smart and makes a lot of sense because that's very difficult to do to deal with those reverse controls. It's Hurt Locker, Power Focused 1, and Enhanced Special 1, so that's what makes the attack unblockable on the first hit. And obviously he's going to be gaining a lot more power under a bar of power and have it severely limited after he reaches that first bar of power. So what we're going to do here, as long as we never parry in this fight, he'll never gain light energy, and as long as he doesn't have light energy, he will not reverse our controls on the activation of the special one. So we are going to play this fight as if it's stun immune the whole way. So we're going to hold our block, we're going to wait for him to heavy, and then we are going to counter his heavy every time. And because his power is so limited now after that first bar, we basically don't have to worry about specials. I would love for him to throw the special 2 instead of the special 1, regardless of the reverse controls. It's just easier to evade for me. And we have to remember to alternate our special attacks. So we threw the special 1 the first time, we throw the special 2 the second time. We're just holding our block. Right here, I just get a little lazy and I don't react fast enough to his heavy animation. For some reason, I thought he was throwing the special, but no big deal. Moleman got that tankiness, that health pool. And this fight is going about as well as I could expect it to. I know we're going to take block damage because we're not parrying and we're just blocking every attack. But once again, this is our last fight of the war with Moleman. So we really don't need to worry about preserving our health for anything. And he's down to like 30%, so we're pretty close to the finish line. But I've actually managed to almost push him to a special 3 right here. And he finally throws it. The special 2, that's exactly what I wanted him to throw. And now I'm pretty sure one more special 2 is going to end it. Or if not, put him like right at death's door. So 5% health, that basically did it. One more combo, and there we go. About a 2-minute fight. So it wasn't the fastest fight in the world, but it was very safe and very secure, which is exactly what you want for Alliance War. So we get out of there with the full attack bonus and a perfect war. Our first mini-boss fights go perfectly. Could not have been happier. And I actually managed to finish my fights relatively quickly in relation to everyone else, but we'll fast forward a little bit. At this point in the war, you can see what we're looking at here. So... this is very close. It's a very close war. We are each at 138 attacker kills, and our defense has racked up 2 more defender kills. So we are clearly in the lead at this point by 2 defender kills, but we are losing the fight duration tiebreaker, and it's unlikely that will change. So obviously, in order to win this war, we had to finish our last 12 fights without dying more than once. So we had 1 death that we could spare in these 12 fights, and what do you know? Of course, we have to make it interesting. We do die one more time with 1 fight left on the map, and that 1 fight was a mini-boss. It's the Hazard Shift Poison Incinerate mini-boss in our battle group, so it all rested on one of our alliance mates' shoulders, and Andrew, it was all on him and his ghost to get that fight down without dying, not a single time, because we are going to lose the fight duration tiebreaker and then also lose the war if that happens. So Andrew, he managed to do it. He was the man. He absolutely smoked the mini-boss, full attack bonus achieved, and we don't die anymore. So we finish off the war with 9 deaths, just enough to get the win here. My God, is that close. It all comes down to the difference of 1 defender kill, and that is it, because if we had tied, we would have lost the fight duration tiebreaker and lost another war. So we were very fortunate to come out on the right side of this. Credit to RE.A. They played really well. Obviously, we are very evenly matched. It was a very good war all around, I think. And yeah, we barely pulled this one out. So we got very lucky to some extent, but obviously we are skilled and we managed to keep our deaths to single digits, which was enough to win the war. And now that puts us at 2-3 on the season. So we need to keep this momentum going, stack some wins here. I'm confident if we can do that, we will be in a very good spot going forward. But we'll move on from this war and check out the ranking. So we are in Platinum 1, rank 19 as of right now. And that's a little further back than I think we'd all like to be. It's not quite as comfortable as we would like. We're just a few spots out of Platinum 2, so we really do need to keep this up and keep winning in order to hold on to this spot. But I hope you enjoyed the video, our first mini-bosses of the season. So feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, obviously, if you want to see more. I am absolutely thrilled to be providing this content to everyone. Hopefully you get something out of it. I know I have a good time making these videos, so I appreciate all you out there watching, and we'll catch you in the next war video. See ya.